It's the home of the Nets here in Brooklyn, New York, as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the Barclays Center. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. And breaking down the game, let's take a look here at Duran Williams.
Well, Kevin, his great ball handling ability puts a lot of pressure on the defense. He's able to break down defenders and get to wherever he wants on the floor. And that allows him the best angle to attack the defense.
And also, he catches a lot of defenders off balance, Steve, with his ability to pull up and drain shots off the bounce. It's a very effective skill to have.
Last outing for the Nets, it was a loss to the Cavs in Cleveland. And that does your confidence guys no favor. They got manhandled in that one. It wasn't pretty.
And if there was an aspect of the game that jumped out at me, guys, it was the rebounding. There was a huge difference in the effort both teams were making on the glass.
Well, they got pushed around all game long, and when that happened, you're going to get out-rebounded. You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year in 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs. The Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
And here's Chalmers. Got a piece of it. LeBron, left side. He feeds it to Bosh. Back to LeBron. Good ball movement here by Miami. Daddy cannot hit. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lot for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got out to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. And never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. Well, Kevin, in the NBA, you've got lots of shooters, but only so many shot creators, and he's one of them.
Yeah, you love to have a guy like him with the ball shot clock running down and just let him go to work. He is a shot manufacturer late in the game. You know, it's been a while since the Nets have been one of the feared teams in the East. They had their best season since their days when they would make trips to the finals in the early 2000s. Really an excellent turnaround effort from the entire organization.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. On the wings, it's D. Wade and LeBron James. Chris Bosh is out there with Shane Battier, and it's Chalmers in at the 5. And for the Nets, who are one of the big turnaround stories from last season, they did it by beating a team, Steve, they were supposed to in the rest of the Eastern Conference. Great record against the East.
Yeah, 36-16 against their Eastern foes, so pretty solid in that regard. You know, they decided early on that the key was they had to get home court advantage in the first round. And they set their goal and they hit it. Unfortunately, they got knocked off by Chicago in that first round.
Now, here's Chalmers. Following the shot by Kevin Durant. From deep LeBron. Count the bucket.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically, no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Durant, that's good. Durant's got 8.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play.
Kevin Durant is one of the most laid-back and easy-going guys you'll meet in the NBA. But don't be fooled. He's as fiery a competitor on the court as anyone else in the league. He's a superstar because he has the talent, but also the drive.
Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Here's Bosch. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over there.
Well, you know what? Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And I think when you talk about the drive of Kevin Durant, Clark, it all comes from his love of the game.
I love watching Kevin Durant play. He is such a special talent, and you can see the inherent joy that he has in playing the game. I mean, it's palpable, it's obvious. He's a big-time gym rat, and he just loves to work on the game and continue to refine his skills. He's a joy to watch.
And here's LeBron following the three from Kevin Durant. They'd love to get more of those, the easiest 2 points possible. And on a fierce finish.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they're going to cut into the lead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why they've got to tighten up their D. I'd be surprised if the defense allows any more free runs to the hoop like that.
They're really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
And they've been on fire offensively as a result, Clark.
And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for.
Now here's Wade. Last game, 26 points. Double team on Wade. Chalmers makes the lead pass. And Chris Bosh with the slam.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. That may put a little life back into this team.
Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
It was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case. You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big three throughout the season and playoffs last year.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Greg Oden, he's checked in for Bosh. Haslam comes in for Shane Batty. And it's Allen in for Dwayne Wade.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, man, he's got so much power.
As you said, Clark, the big three in their time, but really, you want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a third title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.
Lewis attacking. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
A lot of noise coming from these fans. Pretty unhappy with that call.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of amateur officials in the crowd, and not one of them liked it.
Well, head coach Jason Kidd, that's a phrase I didn't expect to hear this quickly, but Kidd wasted no time. Wow. Incredible.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for Brooklyn.
Well, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot.
Oh, look at it.
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that comes from.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
And why not? I mean, the more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
There's a minute left to play here in the first. No good from Ray Allen.
Tell you what, he can be really frustrating as a shooter. All you can do is grimace because he just can't find the ring.
And that one's good. Durant.
You know, no matter what you do with Durant defensively, nothing bothers him. You try to be physical with him. You know, that's probably your best bet, but that's easier said than done because he can get around you with that speed and quickness. But really what he's looking to do is create space and shoot over the top.
And you've just highlighted a lot of what he has from a skills standpoint, but it's his demeanor, that unflappable nature, that always in attack mode. He's got the quick release. He's got the size to shoot over most any defender. And he can go for buckets in a hurry. He's streaky, but he's efficient as well as effective for long stretches. He's special.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Broke loose. Stolen by Durant. Here's Garnett.
Down that time. Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Outside Durant. And it's good. Hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
This is going to be a big decision, guys. I mean, it sure looks from the tape that the shot left his hand.
Come out and join the crowd. Watch your Nets live and in person. Come out and welcome our sensational new rookie.
The 19-foot shot, and that one's good. Durant's got 32 points.
Well, you talk about Kevin Durant, you can make a strong case. He's the best scorer in the game today. You know, when you look at the volume of points that he puts up and the efficiency with which he does it, I mean, I think he's still figuring out how to make the players around him better, and he's doing a good job of that. And that's the next step in his game, but he's making good strides in that regard.
And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Chambatier is out there with LeBron James. And it's Bosh with the 5 down low. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, LeBron James' game is so well-rounded, you might forget that he led the league in scoring back in 2008. He said, I've done that before. I'm capable of doing it, but that's not my job here. My job is to do a lot of everything, rebounding, passing, and defending. Guys, his versatility and completeness as a basketball player is what makes him so incredible to watch.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, special talent. And Clark Duran has tried to increase his playmaking the last couple seasons, but as his assists have increased, Steve, unfortunately, so too have his turnover.
Well, that's going to happen. When you're going to take more chances, you'll make more mistakes. The key is just to have the right ratio. But if Duran is asked to make so many plays in their offense, then it's inevitable that you're going to get some turnovers there.
And this game probably changed too with Harden's departure to Houston.
No question, the ball in his hands a lot more often.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Bosh. It's rebounded by Kevin Garnett. Garnett's got 3 rebounds now in this one. It's Durant on the wing. He's feeling it. With 4 seconds on the clock. And that one's good. Garnett's got his second bucket tonight.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
Wade, no good. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We're in the early stages of what promises to be another great season in the NBA. Brooklyn up on top against Miami. It's been a scintillating open court attack. They hold a major advantage in fast break points. We've seen Kevin Durant producing at a high level against Miami, shooting nearly 70% so far, a gaudy shooting percentage, the envy of everybody playing tonight. For the Heat, they haven't had the same luck. They're undefeated so far this season, but their lackluster play in that first half is putting that in jeopardy. A great performance by LeBron in the first half. He's got 12 points, and on the defensive side of the floor, he's definitely been contributing with some focused defensive work. And back to the borough of Brooklyn we go. Thanks so much for being with us.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return, a view here of the landmark Statue of Liberty illuminating this beautiful night. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that talent in the second half.
Duran Williams and Joe Johnson at the 1 and 2. Duran is out there with Garnett, and it's Blatch in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Here's Chalmers. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
The Nets had a really solid debut season in Brooklyn last year. They made the big move in trading for Joe Johnson, but they also made some small adjustments that paid off for him as well.
Very close to a three-point play right there.
Yeah, that didn't go down, but those are exactly the plays coaches like to see.
Well, Clark, as you said, a lot of people thought they would just be a top-heavy team with their starters doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but Steve, they got contributions from all around.
Well, they didn't have big-name players on the bench, but they had some guys like Blatch and Evans who were kind of under the radar, but came in and played very well for this team a year ago. Now, of course, you got big names across the roster for the Nets.
The Heat shooting a scorching 68% in the game. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
I love the floor that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
Back to Wade.
And that's not supposed to happen. Come on now. You're not supposed to throw an alley-oop from that kind of distance. Come on.
And then Clark to dunk it with authority.
Man.
Wow.
How about the communication between the teammates? That was an impressive display.
Durant just inside the line. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
This switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys. You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
And he's performing at such a high level. That's why they're in the lead right now. They are trying to pull away here, continuing to add to this lead.
Well, Steve, no time is a good time to let up in my mind. I mean, you got to continue to just play the game no matter what the score is. No mercy being shown out there, and they're looking to pull away. I like that.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
No good from Bosch. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Guys, it's a one-man show out there. I mean, he looks like he's willing to handle all of the offensive duties for his team.
And Kevin Durant with the slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yes, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosch. LeBron with it. Now defended by Blatch. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And we've got a moment now to look at the highest scoring teams in the NBA from last season. The Heat in 5th.
Boy, they do an excellent job offensively. Most of the season last year, they were really in sync. A nice flow and rhythm to their offensive game. But anytime you score the points they did, it's about unselfishness and trusting each other.
Three minutes gone now in the third quarter. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and LeBron throws it down.
That's the epitome of teamwork right there, Kevin, on the alley-oop.
Well, Clark, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder.
Yeah, lightning, too.
But I'll tell you, the pass was even better. I mean, he put it on an absolute platter for him.
Well, for LeBron James, guys, the stats say it all. He's always a beast. But when you play him at the power forward position, his numbers...
That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary for him.
Man.
Oh, you know it. The guy can climb the ladder, can't he? I love his kind of mid to long range jump shot. It's a specialty of his, especially in catch and shoot situations.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's a very skilled catch and shoot type of player. I mean, it adds a dangerous element to his game that he can make that jump shot. You know, when something works for you, you stay with it. The Heat saw after the 2012 finals that small ball was very effective for them. You can see why they chose to do that, given how hard it is to find a power forward that can match up with LeBron. Makes good sense.
Ball's not loose. Bosch passes to LeBron. Again, the Heat good for two.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
And mismatches really what make the NBA offense go at times. Not only can Miami overpower you, Steve, you know, with their sheer talent at times, but if you're trying to guard a perimeter play with a big, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, some people still see small ball as a gimmick, but you know, for Miami, it's different because you've got LeBron James playing the power forward. It's not really small ball. He can rebound, he can defend, he can do everything. And so the Heat become a nightmare to guard at the other end, and you can rarely take advantage of them offensively.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Shoots it. And again, it's Kevin Durant.
What a top-notch game he's had. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Durant with the steal. Hammer time! And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Nets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Lewis with the three. That's good. Lewis has got his third bucket of the night.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the three ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. And Cole kicks to Lewis. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
6 on the shot clock. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Gets it to go.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
Yeah, that's twice in a row now where they've done exactly the opposite and backed off.
Here's Durant. Again, the Nets for two.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to work for those good looks.
That's tipped. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Boy, a big bonus for them.
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine, emerging as a star talent in the NBA.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Looking at Miami, they took their win in their last game against the 76ers.
You know, their percentage from long range that game was off the charts. It seemed like every time the home crowd got going, they just took the wind out of their sails with another three-point barrage.
Yeah, those bombs were really falling.
On the floor for Miami, starting the fourth. Norris Cole is out there with Allen. Then it's Jarvis Bernardo. Then there's Joel Anthony, and it's Lewis in at the small forward position. Miami with the ball. Six to shoot. Master Bernardo banked in off the glass. Here is Durant. Puts one up from 19. Again, the Nets for two.
Boy, they're getting into a real groove from inside the three-point line, knocking down those mid-range jump shots.
Yeah, in fact, that's the shot they've used from that range, Clark, to get 8 of their last 10 points.
What a competitor, Kevin. He's been looking for a shot all game long, and he's really shouldered the load for them offensively.
Lewis outside. He kicks to Cole. Back to Lewis. Anthony sets the pick for Lewis. Fires from deep. And the Heat, another three.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come. But
Miami's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Here's Durant. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
oof, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
And here's the fast break. Durant leading the way. Good.
They've really caused a lot of trouble with their defense, and it's paying dividends for them at the other end.
Well, it's the old saying, good defense lead to good offense, and there's no question that's the case right now.
A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Brooklyn. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando, and they'll take on the Magic. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
And, you know, for the Wizards, that's a game they'd really like to have.
The feed now to Cole. Lewis outside. He passes to Anthony. Back to Lewis. Shoots the three. Cannot hit. And Brooklyn will come the other way. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat.
And not one of these games went their way last season.
That's good.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
The Heat have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Kicks it to Bernard. Offensive struggles continue. Missing again. 2 teams, Clark, fighting tooth and nail near the top of the conference. That hurts to get swept.
It's certainly demoralizing. You can't help but feel like that team has got your number. They're handling you all the time.
Here's Durant. Already shaking. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Oh, this is getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this run going much longer.
I tell you what, Steve, it's already lasted longer than I thought possible.
Miami's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And he throws it down hard with one hand. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
Back to Lewis. To the inside. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Lewis. And here are the Nets. They're on a 20-7 run. Durant, another one falls for Brooklyn.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Lewis with it. Guarded now by Durant. And the shot is good. Bernado's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
With the shot. And again, Kevin Durant.
You know, from that in-between range, they've actually been the much hotter team.
Well, when you make perimeter shots and knock down those jumpers, it opens up everything else.
A minute 50 left in the fourth. And the Nets, another three.
This guy is simply having a great game from outside.
For Miami, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. And Durant comes to help. And here we go. Brooklyn, fast break. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
When you keep turning it over like they have, you give your opponent the chance to get out and run on you.
Boy, and it's come back to bite them so often here today.
What a play.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak, of what's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve.
Miami's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. He dishes it to Lewis. Puts the lead pass in front of him.
How about this action? We better tie the roof on this place before it blows off.
A lot of passion in this building now. You're right.
Now, there's no way they keep trading dunks like this. The defense has to improve.
Took him no time at all on that one.
And he continues to shoot well after that blazing first half.
The Heat have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Livingston.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one. This is unbelievable. What a shooting exhibition we're seeing out there today.
46 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Cole dishes to Lewis. Cole. Ray Allen is on the wing. Anthony, the pass to Cole. Ray Allen is on the wing. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound Heat. Brooklyn's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. And that one's good. Durant.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
Lewis kicks to Anthony. Lewis dishes to Cole. And again, it's the Heat missing. Durant with it. Goes up on the wing. And it's Brooklyn scoring again.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. Been a fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And that about wraps it up with Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Kevin Durant.